Okay, here we are. We're back. More Shacknews awards. Uh, we're gonna have to put our thinking caps on for this category, folks. We're doing the best PC port of the year 2021. Um, hmm.
Best PC port? Well, there's one that came out this year, but I don't know if you guys are gonna like. Actually, there are quite a few of them that came out that you guys might like. The Kingdom Hearts games all came to PC this year, and if I had to pick one to nominate for this category, you can argue about where the story went, and a lot of people will, but there's no denying how good Kingdom Hearts 3 looked. And to actually see that on PC was a nice little treat, and it reminded me of how gorgeous that game looks. And I'm gonna have to just, without going into the rabbit hole of the story, I'm just gonna go with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Certainly a game that was ported to PC this year.
I don't think a lot of people will argue with you on the story, Ozzy, because my wife used to be a super fan and not even she knew what the hell was happening in Kingdom
I,
Hearts 3.
I was able to piece together what happened by the end, but then they went to the DLC and then they just undid it all over again.
When's the 3.11 for work groups remix drop?
We don't know when the next Kingdom
Work
Hearts thing is coming out because
groups.
because Square's all on board with Final Fantasy VII now, so we get to
Okay.
we get to see like years of that story play out first.
Okay, that's fine. No, that was a PC port. That's a good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
It does meet the criteria for
Yeah,
this
you did
category.
better than me, Ozzy. I
Well, if you'd
that's
like to
what.
vote for a game that's not Kingdom Hearts, Bravely Default 2 very quietly came to PC late in the year, and this was a Switch exclusive for the
That's
first
so
6 months.
weird.
Yep.
That is really weird, right?
Yep. I was
Because
not expecting to see one so soon. I was not expecting to see one at all because none of the other Bravely Default games were on PC.
right,
Yeah.
that's what's weird about this. Like, and it was a competent port.
Uh, I have not had a chance to play it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Octopath come to PC eventually?
It came to PC a couple years ago, I believe.
Yeah, and someday Greg will beat that game. Or
That
not
was
Greg,
weird.
Blake will play that game. Or
I'm
Greg.
definitely going to have my arguments for Bravely Default 2 in other categories, but I can't really speak too much of it in terms of the PC port. But
Okay, but
everything I've heard from people that have played it have said it's solid.
with gamers, you would have heard otherwise. If it sucked, we would have all known. They tend to be a little more active on the
Well,
complaining
well,
side.
it's actually unfortunate that we're recording this on the day after the Game Awards because there's another PC port that's coming on Monday, and that's going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Can I preemptively just vote for that? I don't know. No, that game probably will look great. I actually want to hear from Chris because I feel like he might have more knowledge in this area.
I didn't play too many of the ports this year. Didn't see Kingdom Hearts run on my own machine, so I can only go with the third party testing and stuff that I've seen. But I mean, the games on there they run and they boot up. They are Epic exclusive, but I probably have to roll with the Days Gone port just because of how well it performs relative to the hardware you give it, the upgrades it got from console, and its ability to scale across a wide variety of hardware. Like the same PC that you need to run Kingdom Hearts 3 at 4K 30 FPS is the same PC that can run Days Gone at those same settings over 60 FPS. So I feel like the visual return for what you get for the optimization, the hardware, stuff like that,
And
Yeah.
at
it's
least from a
an
technical perspective,
improvement from Horizon Zero Dawn, right, Chris? Because you said you played that one, and you said that one was
is
kind of
Zero
challenging.
Dawn had a rough launch. It had issues with CPU utilization and stuff like that that kept people from getting the most out of it. It's been fixed since, but yeah, it had a rough launch. And I
It's
feel
weird
like it's
because
kind of weird on the Kingdom Hearts games, like especially the first couple of them, that you need absolutely monster PCs, and these are literally 20-year-old games that look like they run on a calculator. It's just really weird that they need 32 gigs of RAM and all this stuff to
That is fucking
function
weird.
at a basic level. So,
what engine is Days Gone running on, Chris?
Unreal.
Okay, and the Horizon Zero Dawn port is the Decima engine, right?
Decima, yes.
And we've only seen two games from the Decima engine ported to PC. One was Death Stranding, and one was
Right.
Horizon. Death Stranding's PC launch did not. It actually went pretty well. So it was surprising to see the people who built the Decima engine struggle with the port. Is it because Kojima?
Well, they didn't do the port, so
Okay. It seems like Kojima's team has more experience bringing games to Steam than some of these Sony in-house studios do.
yeah. And Sony went out and bought Nix's, I believe, for the purpose of doing these ports. So we'll see. Although they've
Yeah.
confirmed to not be on God of War or Uncharted so far, so
Hmm.
makes me wonder what they might be working on.
Parappa the Rappa.
Maybe some Returnal.
Probably Parappa the Rappa.
That would be crazy.
That would be.
But yeah, Days Gone, Ben Studio.
This is a
definitely-
category that would have been a lot busier 10 years ago than it is now because it's not
Yeah,
really an
yeah.
issue for games to come out on computer anymore.
Yeah, we're getting
No.
a lot of same day releases. Even when there's a console exclusive, we're seeing same day on PC. You know, like Halo Infinite, same
Right.
day on
I
PC.
mean, could we count like Halo and Forza, for example, since those games, I mean, they're not, I don't know if they're really ports, but I do consider them Xbox games that also
Mhm.
run on PC. But I don't know if that's just me. Like, I don't know if that's
No, because
actually.
they're shifting more towards day one now. Like they're
It's-
also building concurrently for
Now that the
PC these days.
consoles and PC all run on the same x86 code base, like they're not
Mhm.
they're not functionally different. I mean, they are
Yeah.
to a certain extent, but
It's
Yeah,
more
okay.
about the scalability of these different apps, I think, and Halo
That makes
Infinite-
sense.
and Halo Infinite definitely scales well on PC.
I think
I
going
just-
forward,
I
the
just-
future will be stuff like, as you mentioned, the Bravely Default, where it's been things that just didn't make it a few years ago back that get super deluxe
Mhm.
Yeah.
pushes later on, which
I
nothing
think
wrong with
it's
the
gonna be
Bravely
a lot
Default.
of
That thing launched to lots of fanfare, lots of excellent user reviews.
I think it's going to be a lot of PlayStation exclusives, these timed exclusives on PlayStation. I think you're going to
Definitely.
see they're trying to move PlayStation consoles with these games. They give it a year or two, and then you see it come to PC. Death Stranding, for instance, was a PS exclusive, came to PC, PS5 exclusive with the director's cut. That's
And,
obviously going to come to PC
And the
too.
occasional Switch exclusive as well, because in January we're getting Monster Hunter Rise.
I was going to
Well,
say
yeah.
that, like, Switch is another fine example of that. You're seeing Devolver a lot of the time with their releases doing simultaneous Switch Steam. You know, so we're seeing more of that, I think, now than ever. So it's hard to be like these are ports.
Yeah,
anything-
yeah.
Putting something on Switch is really porting it more than putting something on PC.
Yeah.
The
I
amount of
actually
effort it takes.
the one I'm looking forward to the inevitable Returnal port on PC. I think Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII Remake will look great, but also like Demon Souls is a really special case because people have wanted that on PC since like 2009, and this will be its first time on that platform. And I feel like there's like that. Hopefully, will be a showstopper for a lot of people. But yeah,
If you
this
believe
year's
the
just weird.
leaks, I think we're going to be happy about that sooner than later.
I do too. I think next year this could come down to like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Demon Souls best PC port. It'll be kind of weird.
So are we letting Final Fantasy VII get nominated here, even though it's not on PC yet?
I think we should
That
let
is
it. I think we should nominate it next
absolutely
year.
dangerous
next
to
year.
do.
Yeah,
We don't
next
know if
year.
it
I don't
runs
want to
well.
give it an award and
No,
have
no,
it look like
no.
Yeah,
the
if
hamster
it
Never
runs like-
pre-order a PC game.
Let's
That's the
just-
thing. Like we don't
let's
know
just
how
These
it's gonna
companies
run.
hate you and they want to
What
see
are
you
we-
cry. Don't pre-order these games.
Yeah,
What
Yeah,
are we,
Chris is right.
IGN giving Cyberpunk 2077 awards well before it comes out?
let's
Good point.
give it. No, I'm gonna give Final Fantasy VII my most anticipated PC port of next week.
Okay,
Let's do it.
I'll second that nomination.
It just got my award.
Shiniest oversized 8K sword award 2022.
But yeah, no,
Final
it's
Fantasy will win the award for most oversized sword for any year it comes out.
that's fair.
It's
Do we have any other nominees? We have 3 and one that's not really eligible, but worth mentioning.
Honestly,
okay,
if
let's
Chris is Chris is scratching his head. I'm like, shit, I don't know.
No,
I
just-
heard
I
good
didn't
things
Leslie,
about
I
it.
he
didn't
actually
I didn't
gave
get to
us some
see a
support.
wide range of stuff, so it's
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend that was pretty happy with Days Gone and PC. I almost picked it up myself. I wasn't so busy, but yeah, that's probably my front runner from my
Okay.
limited knowledge.
Days Gone is going to be a case like Kingdom Hearts, where you got to throw the story out, and you got to throw like certain other things like the game out, and just look at it as
The
a technical
game.
port.
Yeah, to Chris's point,
Amen.
it scales well.
Yeah.
I think important. these Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts games being resource hogs is kind of damning against them.
Yeah, the
Bravely
first two were PS2 games.
Bravely Default
I
2 is
get
not
3. Like 3 is a little bit more resource intensive, but
Yeah,
the
3 is
first
more
one,
resource intensive, and the base game only came out a couple years ago, so it's
yeah.
Mhm.
But like the originals, that doesn't make any sense.
such as the magic that happens when you do a job in 2 weeks and then send it out there.
Epic
Ozzy.
needs this now.
Ozzy, it's
This
just
is not the
port.
case with Bravely Default, though. This is, by all accounts, a solid port. Didn't have as long between as the Kingdom Heart games, but I would think on a technical level, if you're taking a Squeenix title this year, that would probably be the one to jump on as far as port, I guess.
It's a
It's a
Maybe.
big
really
deal
good game
too.
too.
It's a big deal because Nintendo kind of had that on lockdown. I don't know what
For about a
happened.
decade.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
happened though.
Yeah.
We nominate Best PC Port Metroid Dread for
If you
the
were Kotaku,
emulation.
maybe.
That can't become
yeah.
true until the Steam Deck comes out.
Oh yeah, good point. I can't wait for that, by the way. So we're gonna be talking about playing these PC ports on handheld next year at this time on our Game Gears. Wait, I'm gonna start with Chris. Let's start voting.
I think I talked myself out of Days Gone and into Bravely Default 2. Thanks, Oz.
Nice. I'm with you. I'm voting for Bravely Default 2. Blake, what you got?
Kingdom Hearts was like the only thing I could think of when I was like putting together my personal list. So I'm giving it to Kingdom Hearts.
But you just heard three
That's
other
why we have
games
the
mentioned.
deliberations, right?
I don't
That's-
like Days. I don't like Days Gone.
Blake is definitely not voting for Days Gone.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
know.
voting for Days Gone.
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Bill, what you got?
I am voting for Jack's Teller Simulator Days Gone.
The Adventures of Abercrombie and Fitch, or whatever. Ozzy.
I love the Kingdom Hearts story, but I also really love Bravely Default 2, so that's gonna get my vote.
It's just kind of. I had no idea this even happened. I'm kind of.
Oh, it was very quiet, and when and even though it was quiet, when I saw that trailer, I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like,
Yeah,
it's coming to PC?
that's weird. That's really weird. Nintendo, you're slipping. TJ, what you got?
I'll throw it to Bravely Default 2 based on the arguments I heard.
Greg.
Definitely Days Gone. I'm sure that game looks absolutely gorgeous on PC, and Chris convinced me that it actually runs well, which is actually a good achievement as well when you're making a game exclusively on the PlayStation and have it go to PC. So I'll do that.
Man, with your 3090, you should be testing out these things.
I should, but
I'm so
I'm
blessed.
terrible
to have
PC
a 3090
gamer.
GPU.
I'm a
In the
terrible-
year of our Lord 2021.
Greg, you need to get on Steam and download the Market of Light. It has 16K cucumbers.
Jesus
They look
Christ.
wild on a 3090.
Oh shit.
And it's free as hell.
Definitely download that, Greg.
Yeah, I
Donovan,
want to see it. Let's stream that next week. I want to see it.
The Matrix Unreal 5 experience is wolf hockey compared to this.
Wow.
This is the real
16K
Unreal Engine
cucumbers.
5 demo. Just look at those tomatoes.
Are you implying that Wolves playing hockey isn't cool as hell?
I meant the hockey coming out the other side.
Oh. Donovan, are you voting for the Amazing Adventures of Abercrombie and Fitch? Or are you...
I am. I've heard a lot of great things about it.
Nice. What's his name? Like, it's the most generic name for a protagonist ever.
You're not gonna get that out of me. I have no clue. I couldn't
No
tell.
one can. No one can remember it. It's the most just innocuous throwaway name.
That's
Jack
the
Danger.
one.
He's no John Halo, I'll tell you that.
He's no Duncan
He's
Idaho
no
either.
John
I'll tell you that
Halo.
much.
Duncan,
Halo.
Idaho? Who's that?
You don't know who
That's,
Duncan Idaho is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh man, you gotta watch Dune or read
Yeah.
Dune.
Yeah, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Oh,
character from the Dune movies.
I haven't seen the movies, but I read the book way back when. That's right. Okay.
Duncan Idaho is that
Is
badass.
Deacon. His
in
name's
the-
Deacon.
in the franchise. He's
His
like the
cousin
hero
is
from-
Randy, South Dakota.
Duncan Idaho is like one of my favorite names ever in anything.
That's a great
Demi.
movie. That's a great name.
I'm going Bravely Default to you. That's definitely my choice
Nice.
in this category.
David, you're all in on Kingdom Hearts.
No, all out. I'm gonna be like
Ah.
Apple. I'm gonna be so brave like Apple and vote Bravely Default 2.
Nice. I don't think Sam's vote matters, but I just want to see what he said anyway, so we can either ridicule him or feel better that he also couldn't think of one. Sam did not fill it in.
No jury
So-
would ever convict him.
Nah, I mean this was a tough category to really come up with.
For the opposite reason that best art style was a tough category.
Yeah, this is the inverse of that. Yeah, so 6-3 to 1. Days Gone, got a decent amount of votes, but did not win. Still, by every indication, a very competent port. It seems like some people just don't like the game, and that may have hurt it in this deliberation. Bravely Default 2 being on PC is just kind of crazy. That's
Yeah,
wild.
it really is.
So congratulations to Square, right? Square Enix.
That is correct.
And I guess sorry Nintendo, or I don't know, whatever. What
It's
are you guys even
congratulations,
doing?
everybody, because a whole new group of people got a chance to play the game.
Congratulations to the players. That's right. Power to the players, Chris. Good point. Bravely Default 2, our PC port of the year 2021.